Well, the election is over. It has been over. And today, President Trump's own attorney general spoke the long-known truth. There is no evidence of widespread voter fraud that would change the outcome of the election. This is from Bill Barr. He made the break from the president in an interview with the Associated Press, said FBI investigated and could find no proof. Still, Mr. Trump continues to insist without any evidence at all that the election was somehow rigged, fraudulent, and should be overturned. Hallie Jackson now, the other big news at the White House is this alleged bribery scheme.
Yeah.
But I want to start with this.
Sure.
You know, it didn't go unnoticed that Bill Barr spoke to the Associated Press, not anyone caught up in the middle of the left and right milieu. He's just talking to an arbiter of truth. That he would do such a thing tells us something. I just don't know what it is.
It's also interesting because that wasn't the only piece of news. It was the biggest piece of news and the most important piece of news out of that interview. But remember that Attorney General Barr also talked about naming John Durham a special counsel, basically giving Durham some protection when the new administration comes in next year to continue his investigation into the origins of the Russia investigation into President Trump. So that was the second piece of this. You have to wonder if that was part of why Bill Barr agreed to do the interview. That said, he obviously was going to get asked. He had to have gotten asked about the president's claims. And it is a direct, blowing a big hole in the case that President Trump's been baselessly trying to make, that this election was somehow stolen. And you have to remember the source here, Shep. This is coming from, not Mitt Romney, right? Not somebody who's an elected Republican, who's a Republican official, who's often on the outs with President Trump. This is one of President Trump's closest allies, one of his most loyal cabinet members, somebody who has been criticized, frankly, just in the last couple of months for doing things just before the election that people found questionable, like, for example, moving to potentially put out more from the Durham investigation before the election, et cetera. So this is somebody who the president has liked up until now. I have to tell you, though, you're already seeing the tide start to turn, at least among some in the Trump base, now accusing Bill Barr in some corners of the internet of, being a deep state guy because of all this. All Barr is doing, of course, is stating the facts. The facts are the Department of Justice has found no evidence of fraud that would have tipped the scales in the election. And on top of that, Barr is also very specifically taking aim at one particularly convoluted conspiracy theory that had been floated at one point by Team Trump about vote switching machines, saying that that is just not substantiated. Yeah,
there's nothing to that. And then 2 hours later, on a day when you've already got 3 or 4 different lead stories, then we hear about this investigation. Is anybody at the White House commenting on this potential bribery for presidential pardon investigation?
Short answer, nope. Longer answer, not yet, but you cannot imagine, Shep, that is a tenable position. This is potentially a big deal, right? There's still, and your conversation with my colleague Tom Winter laid it out well, there's still so much we do not know about this. We don't know the people involved. We don't know the background to some of this. But at some point, there are going to be questions. There already are questions about White House officials' potential involvement here, whether they knew about the investigation. I have asked those questions. The White House has declined to comment to myself and my colleagues here who are in the White House press corps. I have to think that at some point there will need to be a tweet, a statement, a comment to the pool to get out in front of this a little bit, or at least to respond to it, because there are some real questions that the White House has to answer.
There was a tweet 23 minutes ago from the president, which is after this investigation notice was made to all in the world, wishing someone good luck on a new show coming on one of those channels.
Well,
that's it.
He also tweeted right after the Bill Barr interview came out, something similar. He's been pushing his followers to other more conservative networks to sort of get what he calls real news. And, of course, it is not quite that.
We call it the shiny object. Look over here. Look over here. Look over here. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.